Well, with the NFL draft only about 23 days away as I'm making this video, we now prepare for the NFL draft. So I think it's time for an NFL draft 2.0 for a mock. Let's talk football. Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast, where sports are everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are doing my NFL mock draft 2.0. Now, I originally did a mock draft 1.0. You can go back and look at that video. I'll have that link in the description below. But I have done 4 trades inside of this draft. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over each of the picks and why I believe they'll go to that place. And then also on top of that, I will go over why I believe that team will go for that player. So I have 4 trades. I'm not gonna reveal who they are yet. That will be revealed throughout. But before we get started though, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a big favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's get into the mock. With the #1 overall pick is the Tennessee Titans, and I have them going Cam Ward. This is a pick that's pretty obvious to the eye because Cam Ward is a guy that the Titans don't want to pass up on. They've already clearly wanted to bring him in. So I believe that the Tennessee Titans are good, have already set up a good team around Cam Ward. They could still get used some other stuff around him in the draft. I do still believe that Cam Ward will be taken by the Tennessee Titans with the #1 overall pick, and that is still not changed since. So that's why I have Cam Ward going #1 to the Tennessee Titans. Coming in at the #2 pick is the Browns. I have them going Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter, I really like this man. This man is a once in a generational talent at the edge rushing position. And if you want a man that can pair up really well with the addition of Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter, you'd probably have a dangerous duo in defense as far as the AFC North goes. But I still do think they'll keep Deshaun Watson for a little while, but I don't think they'll take Shador this time soon. So that's why I have the Browns going Abdul Carter. Coming at the #3 pick is the Giants, but hold on a second. We have our first trade alert. I'm going to show the details on the screen. The New York Giants have traded their 3rd overall pick to the New Orleans Saints in exchange for the Saints 9th pick, 40th pick, and a 2026 first round pick. And with that pick, the New Orleans Saints select Shador Sanders. I have heard a lot of people hinting at this, and I believe this is a possibility. The Saints are going to probably give up a lot to get him, and this is one of the reasons why. You need a quarterback in New Orleans. You need to have someone other than Derek Carr. I love Mason Spencer Rattler, but I just don't trust him in that system yet. But if you look at Shador, one of his top places that he wants to land on instead of the Giants is the New Orleans Saints. So if I'm looking at the Saints, based on the weapons that they recently got in free agency, I would not be surprised if the New Orleans Saints tried to trade up for Shador Sanders. So that's why I have Shador going #3 in a trade to the New Orleans Saints. Coming in at the #4 pick is the Patriots selecting Will Campbell from LSU. I do still believe that Will Campbell is still going to go in with this pick. I do still believe that because the Patriots already set some wide receiver depth. Now they just need some offensive line to protect Drake May. And this guy, Will Campbell, is a perfect guy for that. So I believe that the Patriots are going to go Will Campbell with the #4 pick in the draft. Coming in at the #5 pick is the dual threat wide receiver and corner. That is Travis Hunter going to the Jaguars. I really like this idea of bringing him to the Jaguars because we know that the Jags recently lost Christian Kirk to a trade to the Houston Texans for a 7th round pick. They can reassure up that with Travis Hunter. He may be a good receiver at times, but you can also put him in a few schemes on the defensive side if you need to, especially to help replace Andre Cisco. So I really like this idea. So that's why I have Travis Hunter going to the Jags. Number 6, I have the Raiders selecting running back from Boise State, Ashton Jeanty. Jeanty, I believe he would fit perfectly in the Raiders scheme. The Raiders are a really good team right now. They got a good draft capital to get up in there. So I believe with the sixth pick, I believe they'll go running back here to pair up with Raheem Mostert, and pair him up with him. That's why I have Ashton Jeanty going number 6 to the Raiders. And number 7, I have the Jets selecting Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. I do believe this is a really good opportunity for the Jets. We already know their offense is probably sold enough. I still believe they could use an offensive lineman, but with this man on the board, you got to take him. You have to take him right there where he stands. This is a chance for the Jets to build their defense even stronger. Aaron Glenn is a defensive mastermind. Now, it's a big mastermind as Mike McDonald, but that's our story for another day. But Mason Graham will be a perfect stud in New York, which is why I have him going to the Jets. At number 8 is the Carolina Panthers selecting cornerback from Michigan, Will Johnson. They did re-sign Mike Jackson and also J.C. Horn. But I wouldn't be surprised if they went that additional corner, because Will Johnson is a corner that you don't want to pass on. This man is a ball hawk. He can lock down anybody. He can lock down anyone from in a 50-mile radius or in like a 1 to 2 yard radius. So this man, I believe, will go to the Panthers, especially going to the division where you have Baker Mayfield and either Kirk or Penix to deal with. So that's why I have the Panthers going. Will Johnson with the number 8 overall pick. At number 9 is the Giants trade from earlier. But I have them going tight end here. I know that Theo Johnson's a good guy, but they cannot. If this man's available, they gotta take him. Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is an amazing piece. He is a man that's played around different sides of the ball. He's played wide receiver, running back, offensive lineman, tight end. You can think of anywhere this man can go. He will fit that spot perfectly. And that is what you want from the Giants. I know the Giants are probably wanting a quarterback, but you already got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in there. So probably best for right now to get them weapons to have them succeed to at least be competitive over the Dallas Cowboys at the moment. That's why I have the Giants going Tyler Warren with the number 9 pick. At number 10 is the Bears. I have them going Shamar Stewart. I really think this man could really go to the Bears. I know they got Grady Jarrett, but you need another guy that can be up there to pair up along with Montez Sweat and Grady Jarrett. And if you get this man is perfect for the job. He is an amazing big athlete. This man is a big time player. He can be a good piece anywhere in any defense. So I believe Shamar Stewart will go to the Bears with the number 10 overall pick to the Chicago Bears. At number 11 is the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners, I do believe they'll want to assess the corner and other issues because they pretty much need a lot of everything right now after what they did this past offseason. But I do believe they will go Rond Membu with this pick because they need an offensive lineman to replace behind Eric Banks that went to the Packers this past season. He was the backup to Trent Williams. And if you want another guy to be behind him, because Trent Williams ain't going to be able to sit in there for all the downs. So you need to have another guy in there that's going to pose as a good backup or rotational guy. And Membu is right now the perfect man for the job, which is why I have him going to the 49ers. At the number 12 pick is the Cowboys. This is my first big surprise of the draft. And I have the Cowboys going wide receiver with Tedero McMillan. McMillan. If this team needs another additional receiver to pair alongside CeeDee Lamb after losing Brian Cooks to the New Orleans Saints. So I believe that the Cowboys will go after wide receiver and draft Tedero McMillan because you pair him alongside CeeDee Lamb. Then you can build something scary on the receiver core. They already got the run game fixed up a little bit. I just think Dak Prescott needs that number 2 guy, and Tedero McMillan is the perfect man for the job, which is why I have him going to the Dallas Cowboys. The number 13 pick, I have the Miami Dolphins selecting Georgia linebacker Jalon Walker. Jalon Walker, I really like what this man is. And this man is a great defensive player. And I do believe they'll need to build up some more offensive linemen. But for right now, I can see him going defense because they need some defense to go against teams like Buffalo and New England. Because New England's kind of getting up there right now. I do believe Miami will still beat them, but they got to have some more defensive players in order to stand up to the Bills and the Patriots, which is why I have them going Jalal Walker at number 13. The Colts number 14 pick, even though they got a lot of good pieces at the safety and quarter position, I'm still having them select Malachi Starks. I do believe that Charvarius Ward will be a great mentor to Malachi Starks because if you bring him in there, you got probably dangerous four tro of corners. You got an amazing turkey of amazing players. You got 4 amazing corners and safeties, a little hybrid of all both. This guy, Malachi Starks, is amazing, which is why I have him going to the Indianapolis Colts. Next up is the Atlanta Falcons at 15. I have them going defensive tackle here with Derek Harmon from Oregon. I do think this man has a lot of potential. I believe this man is going to have a lot of potential on him. So I do believe that the Falcons will get a defensive tackle here. They already got a few off the edge rushers in Leonard Floyd. I have a lot of faith in that man. But right now, I have him going Derek Harmon with the number 16 overall pick. The number 16 pick, I have the Cardinals going Michael Williams. Now, Michael Williams, I believe he would fit the Cardinals perfect, which would pair up very well with the recent news coming out of Arizona, as Calais Campbell is actually returning to Arizona, from what I heard. So, just as a recent breaking news. But now, I believe Michael Williams will be a perfect fit in Arizona. Now, of course, I'll still not be sold on them until they beat Seattle, but at least their defense would be sold up enough with this man, which is why I have him going to the Cards. At the number 17 pick, the Bengals, I have picking Nick Amangware, safety from South Carolina. This man is a man I believe would fit perfectly with the Bengals. They needed some help in their secondary, especially with the defense looking the way it looked last year. I really love Nick Amangware in Cincinnati. This guy gives me a lot of Cam Chancellor vibes. And if he goes to the Bengals, he can help out that defense in a heartbeat. So I believe that the Bengals are going to go with Nick Amangware with pick number 17. Pick number 18, the Seahawks. Oh, wait a minute. Another breaking news. Another trade alert. As the Seahawks have traded their 18th pick to the Bills for in exchange for a 30th pick, 56th pick, and a 62nd pick. I do believe that the Seahawks are going to trade back to get more draft capital. And for the Bills, I have them selecting the best edge rusher available, James Pierce Jr. This man would fit perfectly in Buffalo. This man, I believe the Bills are gonna want to trade up with trading back with the Kansas City Chiefs for recent years, and I believe Seattle will be a perfect trade partner for them because the Seahawks got a lot of picks to offer. They get that pick, get a lot of draft capital on top of that. But I love James Conner in Buffalo, and I believe the Bills trade up with Seattle so Seattle can get more draft capital and get up higher as far as the picks go, which is why I have the Bills getting James Pierce Jr. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have selecting Jahad Campbell from Alabama. Jahad Campbell, I really like this man. This man would fit perfectly in Tampa Bay. This man is a man that you do not want to take a swing and a miss on. This man is a really good linebacker. I really like what I'm seeing from him, and that's why I have him going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then with the 20th pick by the Denver Broncos, I have the Broncos selecting Matthew Golden from Texas. I believe they need another wide receiver just to add on to what Bo Nix has to offer. I believe that they go after this man because this man is an amazing stud. He is what he says he is. He's a golden player. So if he's available for them to take, I would go Matthew Golden to the Denver Broncos. Pick number 21, I might surprise some people because we got our first big surprise of the draft. This man has been projected to be a number one pick. We saw the Steelers do this 2 years ago, and I think they're going to try it again and nail it this time. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart. If Aaron Rodgers does come to Pittsburgh, which we've now heard a lot of word on that, but I have seen images of Steelers jerseys having the number 12 on them to get ready for Aaron Rodgers come in, which I believe might possibly happen in the next few days. But if you have him, then this man can learn right behind. I mean, look what Jordan Love is over in Green Bay. Look at what that man's turned into. Jackson Dart, I have had a lot of faith in this man since he came into this past season. The game that stood out to me was his game against Georgia. That is the game that primarily stood out to me. So if I'm the Steelers, I go quarterback here with Jackson Dart coming in at number 21. The next up is the Chargers. I have them going tight end Colston Loveland. I do think wide receiver is going to be another thing for them. I do believe they could get either Xavier Restrepo or Isaiah Bond in the future rounds because I got a lot of faith in those two. And I love Colston Loveland out of Michigan. And Jim Harbaugh has a lot of familiarity with some of the Michigan players that are there. Colston Loveland, I do believe, is a great tight end. He would fit up really well with Justin Herbert and that offensive scheme, which is why I have Colston Loveland reuniting with Jim Harbaugh in the Chargers. At the number 23 pick, I have the Green Bay Packers selecting Ohio State wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. Egbuka, I hope I'm pronouncing this name right. Egbuka, this man is outstanding. And you already got McCall Hardman in there, but you need a true number one. This man, Emeka Egbuka, is a perfect number one receiver for the Packers. This man is perfect. Look at some of the other Ohio State wide receivers that have been selected. Look at JSN. He had a breakout year last year with Seattle. Look at Chris Olave. He's been doing well. And Garrett Wilson, been doing good. Still hasn't gotten to the playoffs, but still. They are cooking right now. Ohio State receivers are receivers you do not want to pass on. And I believe Emeka Egbuka will go to the Green Bay Packers to join up with their squad that they have in place, which is why I have them going to the Green Bay Packers. Next up with the 24th pick, the Vikings. Oh, wait a minute. Another trade alert. The third trade alert. That means there's only one remaining. This trade, I have the Lions trading up, giving the Vikings the 26th pick, 60th pick, and a 2026 first round pick. And with that pick, I have the Lions selecting cornerback from Texas, Jahad Barron. Jahad Barron. This man is amazing. This man, I believe, is the perfect man for the job in Detroit. I do think they still need some edge rushers, but for right now, I would go corner Jahad Barron. There's still other opportunities later on in the round with like a Jake Sawyer, JT Tolamalu, TJ Sanders. Those guys are still available in the second round. I believe the Lions will go corner here to help out their secondary because their safety, their secondary has not been that great throughout recent years. And I believe they go Jahan Barron with the number 24th overall pick in a trade with the Vikes. The 25th pick, I have the Texans selecting Josh Simmons from the Ohio State. I believe this man, I originally had him going to Seattle recently, but of course the trade happened. We all know happened earlier. But I believe there's another man available that can be perfect for the job. I believe that the Texans are going to need offensive linemen. And Josh Simmons, he played behind CJ Stroud before. So I believe they go out there and get someone that's familiar with Stroud and Josh Simmons and pair him up with Stroud in Houston, which is why I'm going to the Houston Texans. And up at number 26 is the Los Angeles Rams. I have them going corner here, Javon Revel out of East Carolina. I believe that Sean McVay has a history of developing different players around the defensive side of the ball. This man is a perfect guy. They needed some help in their secondary, because especially after what happened to their run in that run game by the Eagles, with Saquon Barkley running 4 rushing touchdowns from 50 yards out. I believe Javon Revel, he can stop the run whenever it gets broken down that way. He is an amazing tackler. So I think that the Rams will take a chance on Javon Revel from East Carolina. Number 27 pick, I have the Ravens selecting Nick Scorton from Texas A&M. Nick Scorton, this man is a scorching hot defensive player. This man can make plays all over the field. This man is an outstanding man. He is an amazing defender. He was a part of one of the better defenses in Texas A&M that almost made the SEC championship last year. But I have him going to the Ravens to help out the buff up the defense. And with the trade that happened earlier, I have the Vikings selecting Tyler Booker from Alabama. Tyler Booker, I really like this man coming out of Alabama because they needed an interior guard, and I believe this man's a perfect guy for the job. Tyler Booker is an amazing offensive guard, and I believe he'll fit very well with the Vikes because they're going to need to have a lot of protection for just J.J. McCarthy for next season to prepare him for NFL in the future. So that's why I'm going to the Minnesota Vikings. Next up, with the 29th pick, I have the Washington Commanders selecting Donovan. Let me see his name. Donovan Ekazaru from Boston College. I believe that this man is a great edge rusher. I do still think that Washington still needs some more guys, but defense is a big key. If you're going against Philadelphia inside of your division, you need to take this chance. And I believe with that pick, they will select Donovan Ekazaru from Boston College. And then the Seahawks at the 30th pick, I had from the trade earlier with the Buffalo Bills. I have them selecting Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. This man is a perfect man for the job in the offensive line. I believe this man will fit perfectly in the offensive scheme that they're trying to run. I believe they'll still go after a defensive tackle later on in the draft. I still believe they'll go out there and do that, which is why I'm going to guard at the number 30th pick in the NFL draft. The 31st pick, I have the Kansas City Chiefs selecting Calvin Banks Jr. from Texas. This man is an amazing offensive lineman when he is healthy. And I believe that if he's available at that time, which I'm predicting he'll be, that the Chiefs have to take a chance on him because they need offensive line help big time. If there's any offensive lineman there available, they're going to have to take him because I have been going offensive lineman with Calvin Banks going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Then last but not least, the 32nd pick to the Eagles. Oh, wait a minute. We have another trade. The last trade of the draft. You didn't really think I was done there because I had 3 and I said I had 4. The Seahawks had traded up for the 32nd pick, giving the Eagles the 50th overall pick and the 2026 second and first round pick. And with that pick, the Seattle Seahawks select Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss. I have the Seahawks trading up here because this man is perfect. He has Seattle written all over him. This man brings the defense in defense. This man is outstanding. He can stop the run. He is a part of one of the best defensive units in Ole Miss. I do believe he will go in this round, which is why I have Seattle trading up to get him because they needed some big time defensive help, especially in the front seven. And I do believe that they'll try to trade up with Philly. They've had some good talks with them in the past. And I do believe since the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions, they're not going to select somebody in the first round. They're going to want to give some other teams other chances. Philadelphia fans might not like it, but I have Seattle going to trade up to get Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys agree with my mock draft, or is there something you disagree with? Let me know in the comments. And also, who is your favorite team? And if you do have your favorite team, who do you think is going to select? Who do you think your team is going to select with your pick at your spot? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Thanks down below. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to do me a big favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time, I'll catch you all in the next one. Ciao for now.